true. I don't think you're mentally ill. I don't think you're egotistical. I don't think you're narcissistic. I think that all of the shame that you felt over time by being shamed for calling attention to yourself. Because the thing about having a Leo placement in general, and this Lilith placement just intensifies it, is that Leos shine. You can tell when a Leo's in a room. You can feel their energy. They're bright. Even if they're not trying to call attention to themselves, there's a glow about them. There's a radiance. There's a regal, beautiful allure about them that people appreciate and they love. But with it being in Lilith, that same energy can quickly make a person criticize you or look down on you or not appreciate you because they feel threatened or they feel intimidated or they feel some kind of way by you just expressing your truth. Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Aztec Psyche, and in today's video I will be discussing Lilith and Leo placements. Before I get into Lilith and Leo in particular, I will give a brief, and I mean brief, backstory of Lilith if you haven't heard it before. If you're watching this video, I feel like you might have watched another channel, but needless to say, so the backstory of Lilith, she was the first wife of Adam. They both were made of the earth. She was not made from his rib. She was made of the earth, so in that respect, she had the same power. They were equals in every way. They had the same power. They can do everything equally. She was just as strong as him, just as smart as him, just as insightful and creative in every respect of the word. So by her having her own mind and her own will, there was a situation that came into the garden where Adam tried to conquer her. He tried to control her. He wanted her to submit to him, and she refused. By her having her own willpower and self-esteem, she decided to leave the Garden of Eden and go into a cave in the Red Sea, and that is where it is rumored, or the myth, the myth says that she populated the earth with demons. Some say demons, some say Lucifer. Either way it go, like everyone knows the story of Adam and Eve. When they get kicked out of the garden, there was a world left, and it's rumored that Lilith was the one that gave birth to the rest of the world. Lilith does represent shame. She represents rejection. She represents the shadow side of the self that is like unloved, unaccepted, and kind of just it's a cap put over the qualities of who you really are and the best attributes of who you are, because just as much as the light is important, the dark is, and technically Lilith is considered dark energy, but in my opinion, she's that hidden power that hasn't been quite tapped into. So hopefully after watching this video, you will see what power you have hidden that you can tap into. Okay, so let's talk about the sign Leo for a second. Leo is ruled by the planet Sun. If we want to take it a step further, the sun is, if we want to take it a step further, the sun is represented by the metal gold. And if we want to take it a step further, Leo also rules the heart chakra. And I find that so interesting and relevant because, one, the sun is like the most powerful thing in existence. Like we revere the sun because the sun gives us life. The sun, without the sun, we will die. You know, we will perish. It gives us everything we need. Like, it's important to get sunlight. It's important to go outside and catch the ultraviolet rays. And a lot of people say that, like, we can talk about skin cancer and all of that, but like really skin cancer didn't become a thing until the Western American diet became a thing. So like, let's not go there. But I will say that the sun gives us everything we need. It recharges us, it revitalizes us, it gives us all of the thing. It charges the copper in our body. It charges the magnesium in our body. It charges the zinc in our body. It charges the vitamin D in our body. And it gives us the invisible force of power that you can't get from anything else in this world. That's why I think it's so relevant. And I also love that Leo, I also think it's funny how the metal that's associated with the sun is gold, which is the fourth most powerful metal in the world. Like, it's literally the it's the fourth most valuable metal in the world. And to me, that tells me how precious the sign of Leo is. I typically know a lot of Leo signs to be very magnanimous. I think I said that right. There are Leo signs that can be very narcissistic, but I think it's because of their association with the heart chakra. So just to get right into it, the heart chakra is the fourth chakra. Gold is the fourth most valuable metal in the world. So like, when you put that in perspective, it all aligns. And I find that so interesting because just like there's Leos that are super generous and giving from their heart, there are Leos who close off their heart. And if you know anything about the heart chakra is, it's literally the portal. It's the link between the higher and the lower chakras. And if it's closed, typically the person will be narcissistic or resentful or bitter or isolating in ways in comparison to a person with an open heart chakra who will be forgiving and loving and generous and kind. I feel like all of this is relevant, especially with this Lilith placement, because it deeply mirrors what happens when a person is disempowered by this Lilith placement versus when they're empowered by this Lilith placement. I do say power because that is one of the signifiers of this placement. The other signifiers of this placement is power, or I said power, but power, influence, affluence, arrogance, vitality, sexuality, creativity. All of these are signifiers of displacement in general. So let's talk about how having Lilith and Leo manifests for you. If you have displacement, you have a deep desire to be admired, but even more so, you have the power and motivation to achieve fame more than any other sign. Lilith placement. But the problem is if your ego is too fragile, or if your ego is too involved, then it can turn very unfavorable for you in a lot of respects. Because when this placement manifests, if the ego is too involved, instead of you channeling your power within you, you're looking for validation for your esteem outside of you. And this is a common theme with this placement, that you may seek the esteem that is already inside of you through others. So it might it might manifest as you are constantly putting on a show, trying to prove that you're worthy, trying to prove that you're valuable, trying to prove that you deserve to be in certain positions and certain spotlights. And that can rub people the wrong way because they might view you as vain, egotistical, narcissistic, or even like mentally ill in some cases. See, I don't think that's true. I don't think you're mentally ill. I don't think you're egotistical. I don't think you're narcissistic. I think that all of the shame that you felt over time by being shamed for calling attention to yourself. Because the thing about having a Leo placement in general, and this Lilith placement just intensifies it, is that Leos shine. You can tell when a Leo's in a room. You can feel their energy. They're bright. Even if they're not trying to call attention to themselves, there's a glow about them. There's a radiance. There's a regal, beautiful allure about them that people appreciate and they love. But with it being in Lilith, that same energy can quickly make a person criticize you or look down on you or not appreciate you because they feel threatened or they feel intimidated or they feel some kind of way by you just expressing your truth and honestly projecting out the energy that you deserve in this life, because you do deserve greatness. You do deserve fame. You do deserve power. And most likely you are better than your competitors, but no one wants to lose in a competition. And the self-esteem that you have or had in your childhood may have been, you might have had like a very huge self-esteem in your childhood. Like huge self-esteem, like it's just glowing, oozing out of you, projected out and radiating onto others. And then since the childhood is so fragile, it's such a fragile state for people. And in that time and in that space, there's a possibility that you were criticized and you were made fun of, or you were made to think less of yourself, or people will say like, oh, you think too much of yourself, or like, I can do it better than you. Or even in instances, they may have been people who, basically told you that you can't do it because you always do it, or you always get attention, or you're always first. So they wanted to give someone else the power for once. And even though you know that you deserved it because you worked hard for it and you gave it your best shot and you put your whole heart into it, you didn't get the reward or recognition that you deserve. And they may have manifested into a space where it can manifest in two ways. It can manifest as you overdoing it, and I'm talking about in adulthood now. So it can manifest into you being a overachiever, overdoing it, constantly seeking approval, constantly trying to prove yourself, constantly seeking acceptance, or trying to convince people that you deserve X, Y, and Z, when really, or it can manifest as you choosing to associate yourself with people in powerful positions, or date people in powerful positions, or be in groups of people in powerful positions, because in your mind, if you're associated with these people and these people accept you and you're seen in these and you're seen, you have these relationships with these people and you're seen by others, then that validates your own power, that validates your own affluence, that validates your own value. Best way to put it. It validates your own inner value, but like the value that you're seeking from others, and like I know this is a difficult placement because it's like you're constantly, your desire to be admired is very strong. But I think the value that you're seeking from others is best found within yourself. And there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be turned off or like intimidated or give you like a side eye because of the presence that you radiate. I don't think you should minimize your presence. I don't think you should dim your light. And I don't think you should close off your heart because of other people. This is a very crucial placement because it is the easiest, in my opinion, by like Leo being associated with the heart chakra and creativity and family, well, with children or childlike spirit and sex, it can easily put you in a position where like you'll sleep with people for power, for the power that you want, or the association that you want, or just the privilege that you want, instead of channeling in on your innate talents and gifts and creativity, which I know is great. I know for a fact, I don't know you, but I know that you are super talented. I know that you are super powerful, and I know that like if you channel that energy instead of like looking to be admired for others and just do you unapologetically and get to a space where you know that there's going to be people that don't like you, and I know that that's hard for you. I know that it's hard for you to like wrap your head around the fact that like someone might not like you, or someone might like not appreciate you for who you are, or someone might misjudge you because of the way you present yourself. I assure you, if you keep doing you, keep pushing forward, and literally do it for your own validation, do it for your own self-esteem, and transmute that energy of Lilith, of feeling shame and rejection for being your creative, beautiful, powerful self, and switch to, you know what, like, I know what I bring to the table, I know what I deserve, and I know what I represent, and I know what I can give to the world is worth something. It's gonna make the world of a difference. And honestly, I can't wait to see it, because I honestly think this is one of the best Lilith placements, because you literally have the placement of power, you have the placement of fame, you have the placement of value and admiration and love. Like, there's so much waiting to be unlocked within you, especially with Lilith. Like, it's just so much waiting to be unlocked and unleashed. Like, I'm pretty sure it's like bubbling inside of you. And I really hope you get to that point. Like, I really want that for you. I really want you to like let all of that go and become the best, most beautiful, radiant version of yourself, and get to where you want to be in life. Because like I said, this placement is literally the best Lilith placement to reach fame, to receive recognition, to receive love, to receive like all of the things that most people in life want. And there's a possibility that you've convinced yourself that you don't deserve it. There's a possibility that you convince yourself like maybe that's not what I want. And there's a possibility that you've been giving recognition and fame and power and money and love, and you're just like, look, I don't want this, like, give it to someone else. But I'm telling you right now that it's your birthright, so you might want to just figure out why you feel like you don't deserve it. And yeah, that's all I have for this placement. I hope this video was helpful in your journey of self-discovery. Yeah, as always, take care of yourself, love yourself, and I'll see y'all in the next video.